Welcome to episode 4 of 1530, a tennis podcast. So to start us off, we have a statistic of the day. And that statistic is 6%. It's the percent of first serve points that Tsitsipas won against Nadal in the Rogers Cup final. He will end up losing that in straight sets, but before we get into analyzing the final, Nadal, I also want to talk about another stat that he possibly 4 top 10 players en route to reaching his first final in Masters 1000. That hasn't been done since 2007. So pretty impressive by the young Greek. He had a great week out there in Rogers Cup, but Nadal brought him back down to earth. By contrast, so Nadal, he won 29% first 23%, and Nadal won 40% of second serve points. So overall, Tsitsipas won 40% of second serve points. So overall, Tsitsipas won a paltry 21% return points. So pretty bad there. Matt, were you able to watch that match, or what were your thoughts on that matchup?
I didn't get to watch it, but definitely interesting. Rafa was pretty dominant, and like you said, I mean, you're not going to do very much when you have 6%.
Right.
First serve wins. So
Exactly.
Not much you can do with that.
You're not putting any pressure on Rafa's serve, so he's gonna ratchet the pressure up on you in return and stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. So just before we get into talking about Cincinnati and then on route to the U.S. Open, and that's starting up tomorrow. There's a question that we kind of had. We're starting to look at statistically to see what does it take to be in the top 10. Is it key your first serve percentage? Is it key how well you can return and how well you can convert break points? Turns out there are a lot of different ways to do that. There wasn't just one pattern that I saw. Breakpoint percentage maybe was one of the more telling stats, as well as second serve returns one. But there are people like Isner and Anderson that use that big serve to dominate in service points, even though lesser extent Roger Federer. And you have really good returners like Nadal and Djokovic. So there really wasn't, just by the eye test, looking at the different data, wasn't able to form that, but maybe through a more mathematical method you can find that. But the biggest thing I can find out is that these top guys, top 10, they're very consistent. They find patterns that work. They're able to even play their best tennis even when there's maybe lulls in the match. They're able to stay focused, know when to go for their shots, know when they get the break point, they're able to convert it, and they have a game plan. So hopefully more numbers to come on that. So we want to be thinking about how hard it really is to break into the top beyond. So we'll be looking forward to, we might have a guest speaker coming on next time, so that should be pretty exciting, talking about break points, what that means. So onward to Cincinnati. Matt, anything that you saw there in the Cincinnati Master of shooting or no?
Disappointment. Yeah, I'm really bummed that Djokovic won.
Yeah.
But no, that's all right. He played well. I wasn't able to watch that match either. I know you've got some stats on it that you'll spit out for us, but from what I understand, and obviously this isn't statistical, but it looked like Fed was not as crisp as he used to be, or as he usually is, rather, I should say. Looks like he was a little off his game. You talk about the consistency of the top 10 and how very little separates them. If you're a little off your game and you're playing a top 10 player, that's all it takes sometimes to lose the match. And so I think that's interesting. But
Yeah, that's kind of exactly what I was thinking as well. These Masters tournaments, they almost are harder to win than slams. You have to get to meet these top guys. There's less qualifiers, less lower ranked players. So just like Tsitsipas to make a run to the final, he had to be 4 top 10 players to get there. So similarly, like you're saying, if you're having a little bit of an off day, like I think Federer, he was pretty crisp early on the tournament, but I think ever since with the rain delays, a lot of people had to play double 2 matches in a day. After that, he played a long 3-setter against Sand, who more on him later going into the Open. He played some great tennis, but Federer, I think, just maybe after those 2 physical matches, wasn't able to bring his best tennis to Djokovic. But I guess right into that. So Federer had stellar serve numbers. He had 11 aces, Djokovic 4. His first serve percent was only 58%, but still pretty close to that 60-ish% that we like to see, especially the Federer likes. He won 67% first serve point one, maybe a little bit lower, but still good enough to win on a normal day. But here's the problem: he faced 3 of 6 break points. He faced 6 break points. Djokovic converted half. But the real interesting thing was the return game. Federer was not able to put any pressure on Djokovic's return game. So listen to these numbers here. So Federer was able to win 29% of first serve point one, so better than 60+ against Nadal the other day, but still not great. But he only won 22% of second serve point one. That's extremely low. So just to give you a context or comparison number, for his lifetime on Masters 1000, Federer won 51% second serve return points. So again, these are the top 10. These are ones where they know when they get the second serve, put pressure on the other player, they're going for a bigger return, or they're trying to come up with their own game. Now, Federer, he was missing, watching the match, missing very easy, takeable shots. I don't know if it was mental fatigue or physical, or just what was. Djokovic was serving very well in the second serve, but to win only 22% of second serve, that's just pathetic, especially by Roger standards. Therefore, it couldn't put any pressure on Djokovic. Djokovic eventually got break points, and it became a routine match for Djokovic. 6-4, 6-4 to win his first Masters 1000 at Cincinnati. He completed his Masters 1000 set. He was able to win them all. So that's pretty incredible feat by Novak there.
That is impressive. You bring up an interesting point, Ben, just going back a little bit, talking about the possibility of Federer being maybe a little fatigued. I think that was probably the case in the match between Tsitsipas and Nadal as well. I mean, you come off beating 4 of the top 10 players, and almost every single one of those matches, if not all of them, he had to come back. They were long matches, they were emotional matches, they were intense. And so I think by the time that Tsitsipas finally got to the final, he was maybe a little worn out. There was a moment in the second set where he actually broke Rafa back and was looking more like the Tsitsipas at the beginning of the week that had toppled those 4 players. And so I think Rafa maybe got a little bit lucky there in the sense that Tsitsipas was gassed by the time he got to Sunday. And so luckily that spark didn't catch in the second set. Rafa was able to finish him off in the tiebreak. But I just thought I'd mention that. Fatigue plays a very real role in these tournaments. And that's what makes them so difficult. You have 2 sets and you go all week. We don't recognize it, but it really does take a toll on their bodies and their energy levels.
Yeah, good point. Like you're saying, with the Grand Slams, best of 5, if you get a break, you're not playing every day, you're playing every other day. These Masters events are playing every day, if not more, with these Grand Slams in Cincinnati. So like you're saying, very short turnaround time, you have to be on your game, and you have to be ready to go.
Right.
Great point there, Matt, with 60+. Let's see. So yeah, pretty amazing. Again, that golden career slam there. So he's got all the Grand Slams, of course, but he also has all the Masters 1000. I know Federer's still missing Monte Carlo and Rome. Nadal, I think he's missing 3 of them, right? He's missing Shanghai, Paris, and Miami. Murray might be missing more than that. But yeah, pretty incredible. Novak finally got it done. He lost so many finals to both Federer and Murray. He breaks through. There was a very big sense of relief on his face when I saw that. We'll see. Do you think he'll be able to carry that momentum into the U.S. Open? Is he the favorite?
He's not the favorite in my book, and I don't think he's the favorite in many places. He's certainly up there. He's been playing well. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I wondered after the last slam if it was real, and he's playing like he means it. So.
Yep, and just going into what you were saying, so the favorites actually are, at least, I'm not going by any Vegas books, I'm just going by the tennis, is Nadal at 32%, Federer surprisingly at 25%, Djokovic at 17%, and Del Potro at 9%. So I would say those top 4 are the favorites. Probably switch in my book Djokovic and Federer, but I would go the same: Nadal, Djokovic, Federer, Del Potro. But
I would agree with that.
we'll get into the draws. But Federer and Djokovic in the same quarter, that's a pretty difficult draw. All right. Before we go more to the US Open, I just wanted to mention a lucky loser. I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of lucky losers, but there's a guy, Peter Polansky. He's been a lucky loser now. He's got the career slam lucky loser. So he's become the lucky loser in the Australian Open, French Open, Wimbledon, and now the US Open all in 1 year. So what does it take to be a lucky loser? Well, you have to be on that borderline, just good enough to qualify, but not good enough to make the main draw. And so you have to win exactly 2 matches in the qualification, but then ultimately lose a match, so you're not able to qualify through the qualification round. But then someone has to pull out of the main draw, and then how it works is the top 4 seeded people that didn't make the qualification, they're put in a random draw, and one of those 4 people is able to become a lucky loser. And so Polanski's done that 4 times in a row. So even just that 1 in 4 chance 4 times in a row, that's less than a % chance that would happen. You beat up that lucky loser for 4 times in a row for that career slam. So he has it. No one's ever done it before. He's made it obviously a lot of luck involved, but we'll see if Polansky can win a round. Because that's another thing. All he would have done is won his first round in any of those slams. He would have had enough points. He wouldn't have had to become a qualifier again. So maybe just the unluckiest loser. He thinks he's going to first. So just thought I'd mention that. A funny statistic there.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice? I mean, lose a couple matches and get into these slams. Even if you lose the first round, you get a couple 100,000. It's a good payday.
Yeah, that's right. That's not bad at all. All right. Well, you wanna give us a US Open preview, Matt? What do we got going on this year? 2018. We've got 3 different slam winners: Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic. What do we have in store for the final slam of the year?
Yeah, so this will be an interesting tournament. Like we've talked about, Djokovic is striving to complete his comeback. Fed is, to me, he's looking a little shaky, but he's still solid. He's a consistent player. He'll compete. And then Rafa obviously won one of the tune-ups and took a break. So we'll see if he's able to maintain that level of play as we move into the US Open. I went ahead and looked at just the head-to-head matchups of at least Rafa and Federer in their first-round matches. And it's interesting here, Rafa has the 1 seed, but he got matched up with David Ferrer, who he's 36 years old, so he's getting up there in age. But Ferrer is notoriously a very competitive player, and I'm afraid he's going to give Rafa a little bit more of a run for his money than he hopes for in that first round. It's going to probably take a little more effort. He actually, Federer is playing Nishioka and actually has a higher chance of winning that first round, or Nishioka, I'm sorry, has a higher chance of winning that first round than Rafa does. Granted, it's like 96 to 94% or something like that. It's not anything crazy, but it is interesting to see how the matchups have fallen for these top seeds. I would be feeling more comfortable if I were in Fed's shoes at this point than if I were in Rafa's. Statistically, if you look at the head-to-head matchup, obviously Rafa and Fed are established players. Their percentages are much better and more on a higher level than their opponents. They look better in every aspect. Their first serve points won, second serve points won, break points saved and won. You can look at any stat and see that. On paper, obviously the 1 and 2 seed are better. What I find is interesting is that the ELO scores, the ELO ranking for Ferrer, let me see if I can find it. His current ELO rank is 72, so he's 72nd, and Nishioka is 87th. Oh, that's good. So you see their ELO scores and their normal ATP ranking, their ELO scores are higher, which is to be expected. It takes in a different algorithm, so you could understand that, but it makes me nervous. super rare matched up against Rafa.
Right, like you're saying, I'm used to seeing in the first round of Grand Slams, he might be playing a qualifier who's maybe outside the top 100, maybe 150 of the world, something like that. So like you're saying, he's been playing the ELO inside the best 100 people in the world statistically by US Fiction. Not going to be cakewalk for either man, especially Nadal, but I think this whole overall this gives a better draw with better. He can meet Nick Kyrgios in the round of 32. He could have Djokovic in the quarterfinals. Fabio Fognini plays some good tennis. He could have him in the round of 16. I think Federer got a pretty dang tough draw. I would have given Federer a better chance to win, but maybe not with this draw right now. Are there any young players that you're seeing have an okay draw or a good chance to win? Maybe not win, but go far in this tournament?
That's a great question. I have not looked at that.
Okay.
You can cut that out.
Well, first of all, we had Zverev, right? His best record in the final. We kind of mentioned Zverev and how he's underperformed in slams, overperformed in the Masters 1000. He has a new coach. He's got vertical coach Ivan Lendl. That is pretty interesting. He's got a top-tier coach. His best result in the Grand Slams was the quarterfinals of Roland Garros. And that was, again, after winning several 5-setters in a row where he got down. So it'll be interesting if he can start on the right foot. He's Djokovic is part of the draw. He could beat Nishikori in the round of 16. But I like his chances. At least he gets to the round of 16. Maybe even for another one, too, that could be interesting in the round of 16. I think Tsitsipas has a very good chance to get in more kind of form. And I actually think he's got upset Del Potro. He plays Del Potro in that match. If they both make it to the round of 16. So I think he has some really exciting tennis. It's the first Grand Slam where all four members of the Big Four, of course, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak are playing in the same Grand Slam together. While other great players like Cilic, Del Potro, and Stan who are also major winners.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It'll be a fun tournament. I only have everybody back.
Yeah. Any other good matchups you're looking at for the US Open?
We've talked about, and you can expound on this a little bit more, but the first round matchup, maybe you already mentioned this, but Stan Wawrinka is playing Dimitrov in the very first round. That is not a matchup I'd want to have.
No, neither guy falling for real. And Dimitrov is the seeded player. He was the seeded player at Wimbledon when he got matched up with Stan Mann, who's right now outside the top 100 because of injuries. And Stan won that match in 4 sets. So I'm picking Stan as well. I did the bracket challenge with the US Open, and I picked Stan as well, and I think poor Dimitrov is going to see another upset here in the first round. But Stan, he's playing some excellent tennis. Nadal beat him in straight sets, but at the Rogers Cup, but that was far from a straightforward match. He had many great points from Nadal. It was a very tight match. And Stan looked like he was firing off on both sides very well. Similarly against Federer, he lost in Cincinnati in the quarterfinals, but that was an excellent match as well. I think Stan is starting to find his form. He could be a dangerous opponent at the Open if he's able to get through the first 3 rounds. And again, he won it in 2016, so he was the victor not too long ago. And another thing is interesting, no man has ever defended their U.S. Open title, at least in the last 10 years. Federer's the last person to defend his title. He won 5 in a row. Of course, Del Potro broke his streak in 2009, and ever since then we've had a different major winner every year. Or Slam, anything can happen here.
That's a good point. That's what makes tennis so fun. Anything could happen.
Yeah, that's why we love to watch the game. But yeah, we will hopefully get some more episodes throughout the U.S. Open to better cover this. But until then, we'll see you on the court.